All right, good morning. Morning. Hi everyone. My name is Bei from Tanka and EverMemOS. Thank you, Charles and Frank for inviting me. Great to be here chatting about our product and our technology underneath. So the topic of the conversation is persistent memory and purposeful action. And I will get into on what it really means. Um, so a little context about Tanka. Our company is born out of a family office. Inside the family office, we do a lot of investments. We curate a lot of startups, and we work very closely with founders from Stanford, from Berkeley, or from CMU, from all over the places, and helping the young, brave, the most brave, the most ambitious founders to be successful, and helping them to go from ideas to a business plan and to get funded as fast as possible. So in between, we have been witnessing a lot of struggles for the founders, right? So when the founders switching roles, whether from school to the founders directly, or whether from a big tech or a W2 job into a founder directly, almost all the time, the absolute overload of information is occupying their attention very extensively, because that's where we've seen the super intelligent founders spending majority of the time processing all different information from different platforms, and they go out speaking to the investors, speaking to the mentors, and which leave them very little time to actually building the product, right? So this is, and the outcome is a lot of the companies we've been curating, we've been investing, that the progress has been not as fast, right, as the result it would be. And which will pose a huge stress to prevent innovation to become actual functioning product. And this also applies the other ways too, right? As investors, as enablers in the ecosystem, we've also seen our investor friends reviewing thousands of projects every year, and all the information are scattered around. So when they are asking, hey, why did you make the certain decisions back in time, right? And are all the critical information being processed in order to make the most informed investment decision? And often the decision wasn't optimal. So that's why we decide, thanks to a lot of the distinguished scientists we've been working with, we decided to tackle this problem within. So that's where we built a Tanka to be the purpose layer of the founder ecosystem. So this is where we're focusing on the specific vertical, right? So we as a part of the family office, we want to drive more success to the founders. So we build this Tanka to be both of a one-on-one and a one-to-many communication tools. And in this case, we let the Tanka understand the role awareness the moment we get engaged with the tool, and us, the users, starting to get more involved into the conversation. We make sure that Tanka AI understands the intent or the purposes, right? Because the situation today, right, as our friend from Aleta, right, Cameron laid out, if we operate our business in different platforms, often the single platform are very good at executing the mission, but the founders often have a longer term mission, right? So if what's missing out there is you got a 10 tool, you got a 15 tools that can execute your task very precisely, but none of them knows why you're doing it, right? All of them are waiting for you to give the command, but if you're not giving the command, the founders are often buried into, well, where should I start this, right? Even if you're working with the most intelligent AI tools, you still will end up spending all the time typing all the prompts just because we're switching at different platform. So we're positioning our Tanka to be the purpose layer, because we want to apply this Tanka in between the tools you're using and your own brain, just so the Tanka remembers you and carry over through the execution process. So just to show, I'll be very brief here, because my role is more on the product build. So I'll focus on a few use cases because to us, it's a lot less about scores, it's more about user experience. So if I jump right into a few actual use cases, we're trying to curate our tool too. The first one is for myself. So when I've been working with the company for a bit, and we've been working on the PR project continuously. So this is where I've spent months building a PR article with Tanka. So when I want to come in, I just asked the Tanka, hey, it's time for the next milestone, right? So we got to work on the next round of the PR because so many technical challenges have been solved. And I want to make sure, right, we incorporate our latest update into the next version of the PR announcement. So normally, if I work with any other AI tools, I would definitely end up uploading documents, right, all the historical articles, right, all ebooks, and that's been difficult because we have so many papers in between, and a lot of the good information are not even in the paper; they're embedded into the conversations. So in this case, because all the documents are already down between me and the Tanka, and also as the collaboration tools, all the conversations are already happening within the platform. So I don't need to do any of the drafting. I just go right into it, telling Tanka, hey, right, let's recap our work so far. But we'll jump right into the next phase. So this is where the Tanka is capable of searching the historical information with high fidelity, and then and also with the reference on where the information come from, if I need to recall myself to come from too. And that's where I'm able to go from where we left off, probably 2 months back, right, into the next phase in 5 seconds, as opposed to 5 hours, just trying to get all the documents sorted out. So the next use case will be well, in a busy work, right? Today's Friday, and normally what I do on Friday is before I sign off, I would like to make sure I check the box on all the unfinished tasks. So this is where I typically ask the Tanka to say, hey, help me wrap up all the tasks on Friday, because I don't want to leave anything unfinished before I close the computer. So this is where the platform is capable of searching, understanding all the conversations and my emails and from different sources, right? Because with the memory, there is a good understanding of who I am and what I need to do, and who is expecting certain things from me. So this is where my assistant is capable of summarizing all the key items. In this case, it's product release, right? It's KPI alignment, right? With specific collaborators I need to pay attention to before I finish off the day. So this is normally would be done by roles like a chief of staff, which I don't have, and it tends to be a huge time saver for my end. And the next one, the last one here is I want to share because Tanka, this is the collaboration is not just me versus AI, it's also between me and my coworkers and the AI. So we are putting the Tanka into a team environment, and specifically also shows the case to be a non-English because it's a language agnostic. So this is where, because I wake up in the morning, my coworkers Jack from a different time zone left a message. Actually, I have a lot of unread messages from a different groups. And I know the message was from 8 hours ago, so I don't want to leave my friend Jack hanging there. Also, I'm also tied up on a few things. So because at this point, after putting my memory into this platform, I'm comfortable delegating my own digital double to help me create this reply to my coworker Jack, because there is a full context of what I'm doing and what I'm doing with Jack. So I'm just while I'm catching up on other things, I'm just letting the AI to help me draft the reply according to all the context and purposes behind the scenes. So in this case, every morning when I wake up, right, I don't end up spending 2 hours just to catch up with all the global stuff. Right? I typically will spend 3 to 5 minutes first to let the AI to draft the response for me, and then I just need to confirm that press send, just so I can move very quickly on pushing things forward, right? Rather than looking things backward. Right, so just to put a few things out here, for example, as examples on how we are trying to apply this long-term memory into the key applications. So going forward, this is just the beginning of the journey. Also, this has been an internal tool for a bit. I was chatting with Charles, and we just went to market earlier this year, and so far we've been hyper focused on putting the tool out for the early stage founders, right? We're teaming up with the Stanford and the Berkeley to let the future founders apply the tool so that they can stay focused on what they're building rather than being distracted into different things. And furthermore, we're also teaming up with the right people experts. So because we do believe it's a more of a hybrid business, tool can only go so far. And in order to get the founders to be more successful, we're also teaming up with our VC partners, right? Making sure, hey, as a young founder starting their company, we not only get the ideation to the product very fast, but we also want to take a step further to say how we can empower conversations like this between the founder and the investors, right? And founder with all the consultants to get it funded fast. So more to come, but definitely give us a follow to stay tuned for more of early stage founder related features. So while we have a full team of technical experts here, so I won't go too deep into the technical aspect to it. Well, the reason we can achieve the long-term memory and the function within the Tanka is because we have our own proprietary system called EverMemOS behind the scenes. And recently we split this out of the Tanka to be a separate brand called EverMind. So that's where the second brand is coming from. And it did achieve a pretty high Como score, not as high as Memverge presented by Charles. So we're working on it. And in between, we also realized even the local benchmark is pretty limited, right? It has it has the conversation in the scale of only hundreds, whereas in real life, right, the conversation can be tens of thousands. So while we think okay, we achieved some of the scores, it's really just the very beginning of the journey. So in this case, we're teaming up with our friends researchers from Duke University working on a much more in-depth benchmark called EverMemOS. We're at the very tail end of releasing the score. So once it's out, I would like to invite everyone in this room to give it a try to see further use the benchmark that's more close to the real life interactions to evaluate your framework and see how we stack against each other, right? Or more importantly, how your framework can get a better accuracy and address your customer's problem, right, more accurately. Yeah, and what's next? So briefly, as I mentioned, we're a combination. I'm here proudly representing two brands. We're here right in the center of the Silicon Valley. And for Tanka, we will go much deep to help the native founders to be more successful. So yeah, give us a follow. We will put up more features and functions towards the fundraising and go-to-market around this application. The EverMind is still fairly new. It just went online a few weeks ago. So thank you everyone who have already checked out the source. The GitHub will continue to update itself. Definitely give it a try and see if it empowers any of your agent tools. So and last, that's my join us. I welcome everyone to join us to explore the AI memory journey. Both on the application side, we think this is still very early in the use cases. So if you're a user, you want to try it out how the long-term memory can feel differently compared to the other tools you're using. You feel free to try out Tanka AI and please give us any thoughts and feedbacks, right? If you see any function or any of the key features missing there, I'm all ears. And separately, right? If you're a developer, definitely give a follow to EverMem.ai. Try it out and leave us any comments. All right, thank you again for inviting. Thank you very much.